This was the most interesting thing I saw this week happen in the political world. Now, guys, Marjorie Taylor Greene, it appears that her and Donald Trump parted ways. Not that it appears, they parted ways. Trump pretty much, said that he no longer supports or withdraw his support from her. And I think she needs to be elected next year, or I think it's next year. And now he's withdrawing his support. So he's probably going to support somebody else. But when I saw that, I already knew without reading the article why he withdrew his support. And that's because Marjorie Taylor Greene keeps stating that she wants the Epstein file to be released. And she's trying to hold Donald Trump accountable for the promises he made during his campaign last year. Right? All of last year, he was like, yo, listen, I'm going to get this done. The MAGA people, my people, we want to expose this list. We want to bring it out to light. All of this nonsense. And then he gets into office, and then he's like, whoa, I can't do that. And then people were like, all right, they were giving him time. But then Trump goes on to call his constituents, his MAGA followers, his supporters, weakling and fooled by the Epstein hoax, and something along the lines of stupid or moronic or something in that regards. And I'm like, this is how you're treating your base, who, first of all, you made the promise that you were going to release the Epstein file. That was something you pushed your entire campaign. It wasn't like he mentioned it once and was like, I'm going to release the Epstein files, and then never said anything again. He repeated it multiple times. So now he's not doing it. He's hemming and hawing. He's stalling, whatever kind of game he's playing. And Marjorie Taylor Greene wants this to be in the forefront. Now, there is a vote going on, I think, Tuesday, either today, Monday, or tomorrow, Tuesday, and there's some kind of vote going on whether or not they want to release it, which I don't understand why they have to vote about releasing something that has something to do with kids. The Epstein files, guys, is a segue into the sex trafficking world. And anybody who stands in the way of that is the enemy of the state. Yes, I am saying this. Or the enemy of the world, rather, because this sex trafficking thing is far bigger than the United States. It's far bigger than Donald Trump. Yes, he was mentioned in some emails, but I find it interesting and convenient, guys, that all of a sudden they're just dropping emails with Donald Trump's name in it. And then supposedly one of the emails are stating that, oh, Bill Clinton was never here and had nothing to do. What? Now listen, I knew those emails, they're BS. That's the bottom line. They were forged, doctored, whatever you want to call it, because now all of a sudden Trump's name appears a few hundred times in these emails, or I think it was a few hundred times in the emails, and now Bill Clinton has nothing to do with Epstein. Meanwhile, there are photos of him with Epstein, and there are photos with him with one of the accusers. But now they're trying to flip the script and trying to say, oh, well, now Donald Trump's involved, but not Bill Clinton. Now, listen, I know Trump knew what Epstein was. We're not going to sit here and pretend we didn't know that. Anybody who followed Epstein, and I didn't really follow Epstein until he got into that trouble a few years back, but anybody who followed him knew exactly what he was. Epstein's reputation was worldwide. Everybody knew him. You said his name, you knew what he was dealing with. So the fact that Trump was trying to sit there and play like he didn't know who he was at first, and then sitting there going, well, I didn't know that he was involved in that, bullshit. Everybody knew. The media knew. Investigators knew. FBI, CIA, whatever the Russian version of the CIA is, the Chinese version is, everybody knew who he was. A Mossad agent, most likely. But everybody knew. And the fact that Trump and these other politicians are trying to play stupid is what makes them guys the enemy of the state. Because these people are gatekeeping the gate that can open them up to a world and find thousands of kids, whether that's alive or not here anymore. They can absolutely even find where a lot of the graves are. Now, granted, Epstein only dealt with these kids, if you will, to a certain point. He knows who's in the game. He knows which cartels are in the game, which gangs are in the game, which, I guess, warlords, if you will, are in the game. He knows which agencies, which politicians, movie stars, and then just the average billionaire or millionaire. I didn't mean to say average, but the billionaire and millionaires that are also involved. His list is extensive. Everybody knows. And somehow, now Trump is tap dancing and hemming and hawing. And like, oh, well, I can't. Just release it. I don't even know why there's a voting on this. They should just release the list. That's it. There should be no talk. There should be no voting. This is not a national security issue. I mean, it probably could be a national security, being that a lot of the heavy hitters that are involved are within the national security or the United States political realm, or rather, political world, that a lot of politicians are involved. Now, they gave out the sacrificial lamb. What was it, Prince Andrew? He was the sacrificial lamb. Let's get that shit straight. They had to drop a name, and they were like, you, white dude, ugly as fuck, we're throwing you in here. And he probably agreed to it, with the shame and everything. So, again, he was the sacrificial lamb, and they thought that it was going to end there. Nope. People want the list. They want that segue into that world so they can start finding these kids. Because his connection runs so deep. His connections run deep. But his connections also run into a horrific world that a lot of people don't know. And I'm going to leave it there. Because it's not just the sex trafficking world that you see. There's an underworld of deep, dark, disgusting shit that goes on. And people couldn't handle that if they learned about it. Anyway, guys, this is The Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching the Angry Truth channel.